These are Gloryfire hearing protectors, and yes, Gloryfire is the name, not a sarcastic comment or sexual position. These budget-oriented electronic shooting earmuffs join a crowded field dominated by Howard Leight Impact Sports, Walker's Razors, and 3M Peltors. On paper at least, these earmuffs meet or exceed the performance specifications of the competition, while retailing at a lower price point. Let's take a closer look and see if it lives up to those claims. Alright, so let's see how big this thing actually folds. Now each of these squares is 1 inch, and as we can see here, this folds to about 5 inches tall by just about 5.5 inches wide. So that is pretty compact. And just for comparison, here are a pair of my Howard Leight earmuffs. And you know what? I think you see here what I noted when I first took a look at these is how similar they are. The ear cups are slightly thicker, as you can see, compared to the Howard Leights, but there are other striking similarities here. Here, I'll open this up, and you can see in just the design of the ear cup and the battery cover and the placement of the controls here. So here's the microphone on the Gloryfire, and here's the microphone on the Howard Leights. And I don't have my calipers, but I'm pretty sure these cutouts are almost exactly the same. The only difference being is that it has this rubberized grill in front of the microphones, and this has just the foam pads for blocking noise from the wind. But even just the curve of the battery cover, the curve underneath the microphones, almost identical, just strikingly similar. And again, you can see here, and just in the slightness of the angle, these are slightly thicker. And I'm wondering if the reason why these have a slightly higher NRR rating of 25 versus 22 on the Howard Leights is because of that extra thickness, that extra half inch of thickness or 1/4 inch, and that extra insulation may give these the slightly higher NRR rating. But let's take a look at other differences here. Inside the ear cup, it is there's foam here, and I can feel the speaker underneath, and a fairly thick and resilient type of rubberized vinyl compare to the Howard Leights, and they feel remarkably similar. The Howard Leights feel just slightly stiffer, but in terms of the amount of padding, very much the same. Let's take a look at what you get in the box. Okay, so this is what you get in your package, a black cardboard box with some nice graphics on it, showing you what it's used for, and apparently it comes in 4 different colors, and Gloryfire logo, and some manufacturing specs. The unit has a NRR of 25. That means it reduces the ambient noise by 25 decibels. And it also is interesting to note here that there's a standard deviation. That means that the measurements can be off by as much as 2.8 decibels at higher frequencies. So the lower the frequencies, the better it seems to perform, or at least more accurately. And let's see what you get inside. Well, we've got the unit itself. As you can see, quite compact. Some 3.5 millimeter audio connection cable, and that fits into the 3.5 millimeter port here. That's to connect to your phone or other audio device. We have a visual instruction on how to put in the battery, and we'll do that in a second. Just more instructions. Two-sided, okay. Same stats that were on the back. We have a warning sticker. And oh, this is unusual. It comes with some foam earplugs. Now, these are for the use at the range, but their 25 NRR rating may not be enough, especially on indoor ranges, to even then to safely use and not potentially damage your hearing. So I recommend wearing foam earplugs underneath your ear pro whenever you're indoors or at a range next to somebody firing a really loud caliber. Now, what you should do as a pro tip is when you do have these on, just increase the volume up even higher to compensate for the fact that you have these on, and your amplification in here will counterbalance the earplugs that you're wearing. And of course, because these are electronic ear muffs, when the noise is loud, they will cut off, and you will have the full 25 NRR along with the, I'm not sure how many NRR with the earplugs, but that will be much better than without earplugs. And any dear customer, thank you for purchasing. PR sheet probably to have you promote it in social media. Anyway, so let's take a look at how we get the battery in. And I've actually put the batteries into these ones so I could test them out. But this black cover, which matches the shape of the ear cup on the other side, the black cover is actually your battery cover. And you lift up this way, and you put in two AAA batteries. It's powered by two AAA batteries. Note that I've had some problems putting in nickel metal hydride rechargeable batteries. The voltage just isn't enough, and it doesn't reliably turn on with the lower voltage NIM-H batteries. So use alkaline batteries. They have a 1.5 volts per cell, so that's 3 volts, and it kind of needs it. Anyway, so that's how you replace the batteries, and you fold it in, and you push it up, and it folds quite compact. So let's take it out to the range and do some tests and see how this wall performs. I conducted a sound test using a loud appliance that reliably outputs 120 decibels, in this case a Dyson hand vac, and I found that the headphones actually reduced the noise by over 25 decibels. At the range, the headphones performed quite well. Even after 2 hours, they were still comfortable to wear, and I could hear normal volume conversations around me. I did notice one key difference between these and the Howard Leights. When there was a gunshot, these cut off sound almost completely, very much like Peltor range guards, whereas razors, lights, and earmores are still able to pick up the sound of the human voice a little bit during gunfire. I found it much more difficult to carry on a conversation or listen to someone as words would drop out, but maybe I'm just not used to it, because some people like Peltors. But I actually like these better than my Howard Leights, and that's because not only do they function just as well in terms of cutting off sound, maybe perhaps too well, so I think I like the Opsman better in that respect, but they do give really good, or at least decent, audio through the auxiliary jack, unlike the Howard Leights. And I go into that in detail in another video, why I don't like the audio that comes in through the Howard Leights. I'll include a link to that as well. But like the Opsman and Walker Razors, the Gloryfire, gives pretty decent audio through the auxiliary jack. Not amazing audio. Your average cheapo gaming headphones or any music headphones will give you better audio than these, or any earmuffs that I've ever tried, but decent enough that you can at least listen to, say, instructional videos at the range, or if you get a phone call or a message tone, you'll be able to hear it if you plug in through the auxiliary jack, and it will not be affected by the volume, which is great, because that's the problem I had with the Howard Leights, is that you can pull down the volume knob here and put it to the lowest, so you're not distracted by other noises around you. You can't have it completely off, and that's the case with almost every other headphone, including the Opsman. You have to have it on to get any kind of audio through, because I guess the circuit doesn't work without some sort of powered amplification. So you could just have it on and low, and you won't have the distractions of things going on around you at the range, and you'll be able to have your phone call or listen to what have you, or the news or whatnot, when you're waiting for a buddy to finish up their range time. Or you could crank it back up. The volume is completely determined by the device that you have, so that's good. And the final reason why I think these are great is that they're cheaper. They retail for about $30 right now on Amazon, and that's over $20 less than Howard Leights or Walker razors. Now, there's the old adage that you get what you pay for, but in terms of actual functionality, I think these function just as well as either the more expensive products. As to durability, I really can't say yet. I just got these, so I'll let you know in about 6 months if these don't last as long. Now, I've had these Opsmen for about the same amount of time, so I'll have to come back to you on the durability of these, which are my current favorites. I've had the Howard Leights for quite a few years now, so they've worked quite well and are quite durable. So I'll get back to you on how good these are for on the long term. But if you're interested in them now, I'll include a link in the description below, and I encourage you to, if you're interested in picking them up from Amazon, use that link. It helps out this channel. And if this review was helpful for you, please hit the like and thumbs up or subscribe button if you're new to this channel, because it really encourages me to make more reviews. Thanks for watching. Moondog out.